Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. So, if you've seen on my last video, it said that, or it didn't say, but I had mentioned that the channel name had changed to On and Off-Road Adventure for multiple different reasons. Because if you haven't noticed, you know, it started with the side-by-side aspect of things, and it was absolutely awesome doing the side-by-sides, but there is a lot that comes along with doing just the side-by-sides. For example, the aftermarket parts, the expenses to go to some of these same parks and do the filming and everything that comes along with said side-by-sides was becoming, in my eyes, unenjoyable. I was not enjoying doing the filming side of things, which was a bummer for me. So we've kind of changed gears as far as the channel's concerned and started focusing more on the adventure side of things. Now, you guys seen that we still do have some off-road rigs. We have the Polaris Scramblers now, so you will still get the off-road content as far as the Scramblers are concerned. And everybody says, well, why did you get rid of the wheelers or the side-by-sides to get the wheelers? And I said, because I was born, grew up, raised on the four-wheelers and the three-wheelers and all that stuff, which I've stated before, and I had more fun on my wheeler this year than I did on side-by-side. So for me, that's saying a lot that it was the right call for me. So not only can I still get my wife and the kiddo involved, traveling expenses and everything that comes along with the off-road game has been cut down considerably. Now, on top of that, I've been given grief in the past for having a truck and never, excuse the noise, sorry. Okay, like I was stating, is I've gotten grief for having an off-road truck. Let me count these off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. And never using my truck for any off-road reasons. I hardly ever haul anything with them. I hardly ever take them off-road. I hardly ever do anything with a truck that a truck is made for. So we got rid of the 2500 Big Red and we got into the Yoda. Now that comes into why the name of the channel has changed, because I want to use the Yoda for overlanding. Now, I had mentioned in my last video to you guys that we have some stuff for the Tacoma that showed up via freight, and that actually showed up this last week, so you guys will kind of see the beginning of the setup of the Tacoma. So coming back to why we changed the name of the YouTube channel is because not only will you still have the off-road content with the Scrambler, well, I know this is noisy and obnoxious, you will have the off-road content from the Scramblers. You will also have the overlanding adventure with the Tacoma, so you'll utilize the truck like a truck is made to be used. And then you will also, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but my main job is an over-the-road truck driver. As you can see, what we're currently doing right now, I'm getting loaded up. I'm currently in Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin, and I have to be in Massachusetts by Wednesday morning at 11 o'clock. So I guess the reason why I want to start doing some of these videos for the off-road or for the on-road side of things, because I have been and I have seen some amazing places in this rig right here. Now, if you're curious, it's a 2020 Kenworth. It's got a Packer power plant. Not a huge fan. It does what it needs to do, but it has taken me all over the country, and some of the stuff that comes along with truck driving it is a challenge. A lot of people are curious what being a truck driver is all about. So I figured I've got the equipment, I've got the stuff that I need. Why not start showing you guys some of the on-road adventure side of things? And it's nuts. There's a lot that comes along with it, you know, so hence the reason for the name change. We've got the on and off-road adventure to kind of show you guys what comes along with not only being an off-road enthusiast, but traveling all over this country. And on a full year, if you're curious how many miles a truck driver puts on in a year, it averages anywhere from 120 to 130,000 miles a year. That's a lot of miles. That's a lot of traveling. That is a lot of driving. Let's get these out of the way. So, I don't know, I guess in the comments section, guys, after this video drops, or once you see this video, kind of let me know your thoughts on, yeah, sorry if I smacked you in the face there, guys. Kind of let me know your thoughts on what you think about this style of content, if it's something you would like to watch, or if it's something you guys would be interested in, or if you think it's kind of cool to incorporate what's going on. And now, if you're curious why I'm putting a twist on these, because legally you can put a twist on them, but once you get these tightened down, they don't flap in the wind going down the road. And if they do start to actually flap in the wind with a twist on them, I know that something here has moved. Now it's chain for a conveyor belt for an asphalt plant, and you can see kind of how they're stacked up there now. I'll back up a little bit. They're kind of, things move, it moves around. So I'm going to do everything I can to get them situated to the point where I don't have to worry about, or I can see in my mirrors that if things aren't quite right. So now I know it was a little bit of rambling, and I hope you guys follow along with that. So I guess to summarize all that, you know, I have been doing a YouTube thing now. This will be going on 4 solid years. And what it entailed for me to do just the off-road side of things, I would drive 5.5, 6 days a week, come home, have 34 hours to load up my rigs. Let's see, where's the rail? There it is. To load up my rigs, go out, create content, clean the rigs, maintain the rigs, and then while I was out on the road sitting in my semi, I would do all my editing. So it has been a long grind to create just off-road content, and I guess I want to, I don't know, just showcase what I do for a living, because I really enjoy what I'm doing. However, this morning was kind of a bummer. It's getting towards the end of the month, and apparently making quota is a big deal. Obviously, I wasn't doing 55, but I was only doing 61 miles an hour. I won't lie, 61 miles an hour in a, let's see, we'll do one on this is fine. Actually, I'm gonna do 2. I was doing 61 in a 55, and I got pulled over by the state boys, and the state boy decided, luckily it was not a ticket, but it was a warning, but not exactly how I wanted to start my friggin' week. So we're gonna get these all strapped down, get some corner protectors, edge protectors on some of the sharp edges, get this stuff all strapped down, and then we'll be back. Like I said, in the comments, guys, let me know if this is something, if the video comes out good, if it's something you guys want to continue to see, because I think I am going to go out and start recording some of these journeys, because going to all lower 48 of this country, some of the challenges and the adventures and the places you got to stick a 75-foot total rig, it's an adventure all on its own. Hence the name change, on and off-road adventure. On-road for the semi aspect, travel in the country on a weekly basis. The off-road for the ATV or the scrambler content, and the overlanding side of things for the Tacoma and what we've got planned for that. So either way, I'm gonna finish getting this stuff strapped down, guys, and I'll be back. All right, guys, as you can see, everything is strapped down, ready to go. Let's fire this old girl up. Don't mind the mess. Like I said, it's my first day back in my truck. We'll get everything cleaned up and stuff when everything's all said and done. We are gonna fire this old girl up, turn some lights on, hit my flashers. All right. So people might ask, you know, okay, so if you spend so much time away from family and stuff, why do you get into trucking? Because not only has it provided a great income and the ability for the wife and the family and stuff to be able to do some traveling and stuff. That's part of the main reasons on why we continue to truck. So what am I doing? Just hooked up to this trailer, gonna check my tires, check everything over, make sure I ain't got no flats, give them a good old kick, give her once over, no air leaks, lights are on, flashers are flashing. That's one of those things you should do with every single trailer. You cannot anticipate that when you grab a trailer that it is going to be good, because 9 times out of 10 in today's industry, or just society in general, the mentality is just leave it for the next guy. So I do not take that for granted. I always give her a good walk around, check to make sure all my tarps are fast and secured, everything's good to go. So we are gonna go grab our paperwork, put our information in our e-log, make sure we're legit going down the road, and let's go make some miles. I did my pre-trip and everything this morning, which is, you know, kicked all my tires, checked all my lights, started rolling on the road, and I'm like, God, I got an air leak. I can hear it, and this is about 20 minutes down the road. So I checked all my glad hands were good, and the air leak would not stop. So I was like, okay, let's investigate, see what we got going on. Now I'm currently in New York, but listen, you hear it? All right. I know the lighting isn't going to be great, guys, but right there's my brake chamber, and I can feel the air leaking out of the top of my brake chamber. So water sits on top of that, and long story short, rusted on the top of the brake chamber, and we have to get a repair because, one, I'm not rolling through the DOT with an air leak, even though the compressor is keeping up. It's one of those, if it gets any worse and my brake locked up going down the road, that's a bummer. So our chain load, unfortunately, is probably going to be delayed, which hinders a little bit of everything. Not only will this hinder my drop, it'll hinder my pickup, and it's going to be a challenge in regards to getting back. So here's the other thing too. I cannot stay in this TA parking lot while I'm getting the repair done. Reason for that being is they have a service center here, and you have to be careful with that when you are out on the road, because if they have a service center, some places will not let a third party come into their lot and do repairs. They will either call the cops or ask you to leave. So I've got to take my truck from this TA, head over to the Super 8, which there's a big lot there, and I guess the gentleman he's done repairs there before. So we are going to get our log situated, and then we are going to head over to this repair place and wait for the service call, wait for the gentleman to get there. He said he's about an hour out, but not exactly how you wanted to spend your Wednesday, but that's part of the reason why I'm doing some of this recording, because every week you're out on the road, it is a new adventure. So either way, we'll wait for this guy. I'll be back. Push it in and leave it in?
Please.
Okay. Step on the brake. You still want it pushed in?
So here's what I want you to do.
Okay.
Put the button in. I want you to start the truck up and build it up to full air.
Okay.
Next time I tell you to step on the brakes, I want you to lay on them hard.
Okay.
And just wait for me to tell you to release.
10-4. All right, guys, so I have to anticipate that there is times on the road that there is some stuff that you do have to repair yourself. So if you don't carry a small set of tools, or you don't carry some miscellaneous wrenches and some other stuff with you to repair some of this small minor stuff on the road, you're unprepared, unfortunately. So there's some stuff that you can fix to keep yourself rolling down the road, but in certain circumstances, like this right here, this is the brake chamber that I said was leaking. As you can see, guys, it is all rusted out, blown out the top. Now, this gentleman, what did you say your name was, sir?
Bill.
Bill. And he's been... Yep, he has been in the game now, you said, since when?
1987.
1987. So he was telling me some stories and stuff as far as some of the stuff he's seen as how the industry is changing, and we both, you know, agree that it is an adventure out on the road every single day.
That it has.
Yep, so he's got a nice little rig set up here, guys. He was here. It was a half an hour for him to show up to get this squared away, and I think, what, 15 minutes you had that swapped?
Yep, swapped out a brake chamber in less than 15.
Yep, that's it. So experience goes a long way. So always try to be as prepared as you can. Provide yourself with some tools, but unfortunately, sometimes you can't prevent and you can't maintain. You can't do everything yourself. That's what this guy's for. He got me squared away. We are back on the road. Let's go make some miles. Alright guys, so that is going to do it for this video. So to recap, we left out on Monday, went over to Prairie du Chien, got ourselves loaded, strapped, did a pre-trip, did all that good stuff, was able to make our way starting from Wisconsin into Iowa to Illinois, all the way through Pennsylvania, and all the way over to Massachusetts by Wednesday. We did have the breakdown, as you can see. It is always an adventure out on here, out on the road, dealing with either traffic. Unfortunately, breakdowns do happen. All you can do is try to be as prepared as possible, or work for a company that, you know, has your back and is adamant about making sure stuff gets fixed, which that indeed was the case. When that gentleman showed up, it took a half an hour for him to get there, 15 minutes, he had the brake chamber, we were back on the road. So I was able to do a little bit of recording, as you've seen here at the receiver. He knocked that stuff out, got it off the back of my trailer, and it was a pretty quick, easy unload. So with that being said, guys, appreciate each and every one of you. In the comment section, let me know if this is more stuff you guys want to see, because I know everybody just thinks that, you know, you're a guy holding the steering wheel. There is actually quite a bit that comes along with being a truck driver. And if this is more content you guys want to see, which I'm going to continue to record, give me a thumbs up. Let me know. Throw it in the comment section. It was a cool video, and we will continue to create content. Currently, we're waiting for dispatch. They got me a load of lumber coming out of Massachusetts, dropping in New York, and then from there, we should hopefully be heading back in the Wisconsin general direction anyway. So with that being said, guys, like we always say, on to the next adventure.